Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be reacting to one of Saintontas video. Normally, it's not the way I like to do it, but because like my internet decided to screw itself, it's not just my internet; it's for everybody in this entire area. But I will not let that stop me from making these videos to you right now. So through other means, I got a hold of this video, and we're gonna be looking at saintontas doom posting Arknights Endfield before it even launched, actually.
Righty, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have to revisit the Arknights Endfield banner situation for probably the final time, because the game is approaching release. They've had their official release special program.
And I think it did well. It should have done well.
And we've been able to see and find out with external details all of the things that have actually changed with
500 subscribers, which is like almost half of what Winners have currently. Really good reviews so far. I think it's these Hoya haters see Arknights Endfield as a threat. Look at this, 61k views 6 hours ago. Yeah, they're seeing the bigger picture and seeing that this is a threat to them.
This system. And I'm going to be honest with you. They made it worse. One of the points of critique about Arknights Endfield's gacha system was that it was one of the most player-unfriendly ones on the planet due to the fact that it has a 120 pity for the limited character, but that pity resets between every banner.
And that's okay. Like, the way the system worked, to give a TLDR of it, 120 max means that if you lose your 50-50 at 90, you're gonna guarantee to get it at 120, which means you're gonna get it early. And the pity is gonna reset, I believe. And yeah, the pity, it's complicated. After the pity is gonna reset, is that you're gonna lose the 50-50. You're gonna lose the guaranteed. You're gonna lose the guarantee going into the next one. So it's like a game that's gonna punish you if you're dumb with your pull. So obviously, it's not gonna really help whatever it's content creators like this that, you know, are gonna struggle with maths. They are deficient in that area. So I understand why they hate it, because they don't like to think.
So if you don't actually make it to the 120, you lose every single pull. It means nothing. It is worthless and will not count towards the next banner's pity. So there's a lot to lose as a player if you're not knowledgeable about the system. And so I told people, hey, any gacha system where it can make hundreds of dollars literally disappear into thin air is probably one that needs some fixing. And guess what, guys? Like I said before, that system sounded pretty bad. They made it worse, because we now have the full details on everything when it comes to character acquisition, weapon acquisition, how you get the weapon tickets, and of course, the banner schedule. This is one of the...
I gotta give saintontas prop. This look like a new shirt, and he look like he's getting down in weight. So that looks, those two things look good.
The worst things I've ever seen. So let's start breaking it all down with how they decided to improve.
Camera quality is still dog shit, but it is what it is.
Improve on the 120 pity issue, right? Because people didn't like the idea that that much in worth could just disappear. They fixed that. They
get to the point, saintontas. It's been a minute.
Fixed that problem by adding more FOMO to the banner. Let me show you. They added this new feature.
All right, let's read. Character had a guaranteed rate up operator within 120 attempts. In character, perform a total of 60 head-on attempts to receive a bonus head-up laser, and it will automatically convert into a special 10 permit for the next character head-up banner when it begins. So this is like you're gonna get 10 pulls off the next banner if you reach 60 pulls in the current banner.
Over here, where in Chartered Headhunting, which is the limited banner, if you perform a total of 60 headhunting attempts or 60 pulls, you will get a bonus headhunting dossier for the next banner, which converts into 10 pulls for the next banner. So
I've seen this already in PUBG Mobile. As I say, I play this where But it's different in PUBG Mobile. In PUBG Mobile, if you buy the battle pass and you complete the battle pass, you'll get enough currency to buy the battle pass again for free. So it like rewards you to continue playing once you spend the initial money to go into the game. That is really good. This is somewhat similar to it, but it's like giving you 10 pulls off to get to the next 50-50 faster in the next character. So I do think that is good.
Basically, they added in a FOMO.
So this is FOMO for you.
Check mark, as if the fact that losing 120 pity wasn't enough.
This is okay because you're gonna hit 60 pulls if you're pulling a character that you want, regardless. Because you're not gonna get easy. You're not gonna get 50-50, or you're not gonna get a character easily until you reach like 50 to 60 pulls or 60-70 pulls. So having this is like pretty much guaranteed that you're gonna get 10 pulls extra in the next patch if you happen to go to somewhat even in soft pity. Actually,
it wasn't enough that you could lose over 100 pulls. You're now being pressured.
I don't think that information is correct. I can't research it right now, but I am quite certain that it's I don't think you lose all of your. It's complicated. I need to look into it a
to
little
spend
more.
60 in the first place to get a pull rebate back.
I think what you lose is the 50-50 guaranteed. I don't think it's the actual like.
And this is on every single banner. So people critique the 120 pull pity that expires, right, as predatory. They address that by adding another FOMO element to the banner. That probably doesn't sound very great, right? Let me show you another element they added. Another FOMO checker, except it's not at 60. This one's at 30.
Urgent recruitment added. Perform a total of 30 pulls to get a 10 pull attempt for the current banner. This does not count towards the guarantee. So this doesn't count toward the guarantee. This means that how should I say it? How could this be put together? Maybe it doesn't mean that it's not counted to your pulls for guaranteed. So your guaranteed pull is gonna be, if I get this extra 10 pull, it may count for the 50-50, but it will not count for the guaranteed pulls. But it's 10 pulls to get me closer to the 50-50. So this is a good thing. And also, this is something that you're going to hit regardless. So Doom posting on this is well the work, Mr. Saintontas.
And this one lets you get a free 10x attempt for the current banner, but then that one doesn't count towards the guarantee. So potentially, right, I guess you could get like a 5 or 6 star. But you want to know what I bet happens with the 6 star? I bet if you get a 6 star over here, it'll reset your 120 pity. But I bet if you don't, it won't count towards it. So that's probably another
retarded content creator. Saintontas is basically means that your pull, your 120 guaranteed, it's not gonna count towards it, but it's gonna help you towards the 50-50, but not the 100%, 120 guaranteed. Like, it's easy.
I think that'll probably happen with this free pull, because even though it says it doesn't count as pity, getting the 6 star will definitely count towards the pity. Yeah, I can almost guarantee that's going to happen. That's 2 methods where they added FOMO in to fix the problem. If you know how gacha games work, when a dev decides to fix a issue that was deemed predatory by adding more FOMO,
I don't think this banner system is predatory because we have seen it in other games. Like, not every single game have to adapt Genshin Impact's banner system. I understand that. It is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, these are all gambling games.
Usually makes it worse. So this just means that they took something predatory and made it even more predatory. And that it was the solution.
By having free polls within your polling makes a predatory banner more predatory because it incentivizes you to poll more. That is some wild brain work from Saintontas. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That is some wild wild work. That to spin it in this way. It's a wild freaking work because that makes no fucking sense. Period. Saintontas.
Awful. Now I need to show you something amazing. This is the banner schedule for release.
I've seen this girl. She look hot as fuck. She look hot as fuck. This is February 24. I'll be playing this game somewhere between February 24. This initial. It launched in February. Yeah, I'll be playing Arknights Endfield. Absolutely.
Right. And when you look at this, you might be like, oh, Saint, what's wrong with this? Right? Like, this just looks like they're having 3 banners. Each banner is 17 days long. The pity is 120 and expires if you don't claim it or reach it within the duration of the banner.
This means that you have to plan your pulls more. Like, it may affect how much money they make in the gacha revenue. Why I say this is because people are gonna be more focused on, like, do I want to start using my pulls on this character? If I have enough pulls, no, I'm not gonna do it because I'm not sure I'm gonna make it to the guarantee. So it's gonna affect them in the long run. Like, I don't understand why Saintos does need to doom post this. Like, you don't really need to doom post it because the system, the way it's set up, if you use your brain, it's gonna force people to not spend money as much as they would spend in WoA or Genshin. And why? Because you're incentivized more to spend even when you don't want to spend on Genshin or WoA because the pity carries over. Like, when the pity doesn't carry over, you're not going to be incentivized to spend money in that particular banner because you know that the pity is going to be gone, right? So it's not predatory. It's more of an incentive not to spend your money in a stupid way. Perfect example is Fate banner. It's currently in the game. It's currently in Honkai Star Rail. I give them absolutely a ton of credit for having it still in the game. But the thing is, because we know that this banner is going to be going, I am okay with where I have my saber and my archer with their light cones right now. I don't need to invest more money in it because I know that this will go and, like, I will lose all pity in that banner completely. So I'm just leaving that as is. I'm not dumping a lot of money into it. And it's the same thing that's going to happen here, is that people are not going to be dumping money into this because they know that if they don't have the required pulls to get the character to begin with, it doesn't make any sense they pull on the banner.
Each of these banners requires you to put in 120 pulls within 17 days. I'm sorry. Does that even sound slightly realistic without paying money?
Is it
120 pulls in 17 days.
Are we this stupid to not know that, maybe we don't need to get all the characters one time? Like, the way the banner is set up, it's gonna be those 2 first characters that's gonna run together, I believe, and then the other character is gonna come after that. Like, this is just greedy and stupid mentality from saintontas. Entitlement kind of mentality that you are entitled to get everything and anything from a gacha game.
That is the requirement here. But don't worry, there's an extra bonus, because they have a very, very interesting way of designing their gacha system. You can actually get Gilberta and Yvonne on Leviathan's banner. You just gotta lose 50-50 and win the 1 out of 8 chance of getting them. And
that is... Isn't that a good thing? Like, if you lose the 50-50, you're gonna lose to a character that you don't want anyways. Losing to having a chance to lose to a limited character, how is that a bad thing? Hey, this guy's stupid, bro.
you will get Yvonne up to 34 days before her banner arrives. You will get Gibraltar up to 17 days before her banner arrives if you wail enough. If you're a content creator that wants to make guides, record gameplay, show combos, just, I don't know, aura farm in your videos, this is now pay to win content creation. This is literally, unless you as a content creator are deciding to spend thousands of dollars on this game to repeatedly lose 50-50 to gain effectively early access to the characters on the live servers. This is what this is, early access to the units on the live servers. You're going to fall behind, and there's pretty much no point in you making any content on this game at all.
Wow. Wow, saintontas. That's the way you want to spin it, okay. Okay, saintontas.
Just quit before it starts. I'm going to be honest with you. There will be other, bigger, more established CCs who will gain early access servers, and they'll probably drop multiple videos on all 3 of these units the second after the patch launches, while you're over here either waiting like a literal second-class citizen just for the opportunity to pull, or you're spending way more money than you're making creating content for this game to just be on the same playing field as everyone else. That is the future of content.
I'm gonna be honest here. Like, say for example, Braxophone, a content creator that I respect for his guides. If he wasn't in the Honkai Star Rail's content creator program, I think his guys would do pretty good. When you have a fan base on YouTube, like, even if their subscribers watch other content creators guide making, if you have a good personality, an entertaining personality, they will come and look for your video and what you have to say on it, regardless of whatever happens. Like, there are many times that I watch other people's guide making on specific characters in Honkai Star Rail, and then I watch Braxophone's video on it as well. Not because, even in perilous times like this, he can make content. To quote Tectone of all people, like, if you can't make content on a game, even when there's no content to be made on the game, that's not on the game, that's on you as a content creator not being entertaining. And that's just the reality of it. Like, if you can't make it in things like this, like, get good at making guides so you get access to the early access. That's basically what you need to do. And stay out of drama. Like, if you're in drama, you're not going to get access to that. But this is just dumb.
Content creation in this game. Get sponsored and be at the beck and whim of the company, because there's no other way to make guides for these units other than to have early access. If you do not have early access to, like, their creator servers to make guides for these units, don't even try. What's the point? And you want to know what this is also going to do? It guarantees this game will never create new content creators. The only content creators that will want to cover this game are already established ones that can get that direct route right to the partnership. Because how the fuck do you get started off here? How do you start creating content for this game when you're already behind? You need literally to invest thousands of dollars in this game day one to make content for it if you're a new CC.
And you're just dumb. Honestly to God, if you need to invest thousands of dollars in any games to make content, you're just not a good content creator, period. Like, I hate to be that guy, but if you're investing thousands of dollars to make content, you're not good.
And imagine if the game doesn't actually pan out after doing that. What if it's like a DNA? What are you going to do? Do you see how this has already destroyed the ecosystem for content in this game? This insane decision by the developers to put FOMO everywhere and even make it so that you can pull units whose banners are in 34 fucking days. Her banner will be a month away at launch, and you, if you wail enough, can get her early to play her, test her, and make videos on her.
That is a good thing. That is a good thing, bro. That is insane. Imagine you can go around and say, bro, I got this character that's supposed to come out later for early by losing my 50-50. That is absolutely insane. Like, if this was in Wuthering Waves, take this way. If this was in Wuthering Waves, you would not see people like Saintontas saying how terrible of an idea this is. They would say how great the devs are to give you early access to characters if you lose the 50-50. Because normally when you lose a 50-50 is a bad thing. And a lose will become a win. And then guess what? You just need a few more pulls to get the guarantee anyways. So you're going to get the character that you wanted and the character in the future that you also would have wanted. That's how they would have spin this. But because it's not Wuthering Waves, because it's Endfield, because it's a game that is a competition to Wuthering Waves itself, that's why we're having videos like this.
That is how they upgraded the system, guys. This is how they've changed the game since the beta. This is how they're improving things. And all you can see is that the game's future is literally getting fucking mortgaged for this disgusting new FOMO mechanic they've decided to put in every fucking place possible. But don't worry, guys. It gets worse. Because we've actually seen, right, 120 pulls in 17 days is already pretty dog shit. But what if I also told you that the only way to get weapons in this game was to pull characters? What if I told you the only...
Every header attempt gives Arsenal tickets in addition to an operator. They can also be acquired from the credit store weekly route, certain packs, and so saintontas already lied. You can also acquire from credit store weekly route, certain packs, and so you don't have to pull the character, but you're gonna get them while you pull. Why is this a bad thing? This means that you just need to only focus on the character banner, and you will get pulls for the weapon banner by spending on the character banner. I think that's a good thing. Why is this a bad thing now, saintontas?
way outside of spending real life money to get weapons on this game was to get the Arsenal tickets as rebate from pulling characters. Oh wait, that's the only way to get them in this game. And you want to know what these...
And this is why we read, people. This is why we read. Okay?
Amazing devs decided to communicate to us on this live stream. You can also exchange Oreo geometries for them. As if...
Let's not see weekly routine, certain packs. Let's just avoid all this reading, this necessary reading here. We only need to focus on this one.
If that was a
classic saintontas. Can't read.
Another method to acquire them that didn't require character pulls. Do you know what Oreo geometries are?
Tickets for getting weapons as well. There are many ways to get Arsenal tickets.
Let's hear it.
In addition
Let's
to
hear this
headhunting,
section.
You can also get them from the credit store.
It's literally saying it in the video. You can also get them from the credit store weekly routine.
The credit store is like a recycling shop, right? It's kind of like the free rebate store that you have. Weekly routine is like your weeklies, not your dailies, but your weeklies.
Weekly routine and a number of bundle purchases.
That's stuff you buy from the store. And like real life money.
You can also get them from the Protocol Pass.
That's the battle pass, which you buy with real money.
Unlike Beta Test 2, the official release also lets you convert Aura geometries into Arsenal tickets.
And you might be thinking, oh, that's good, right? Wait, that means with Oreo geometries, I've now got a way to get weapons.
See how he is. Oh my god, classic saintontas. Classic saintontas.
Pulls without pulling characters. This sounds great, right? Because a way to get weapon pulls without rebating on the characters would be awesome in this situation.
Now, ask yourself this question. Did Arknight Endfield players decide to attack WoW for saintontas to start attacking Arknight Endfield? No. Did Arknight Endfield attack any of these content creators? No. So where is this attack coming from? Why is Wuthering Waves defending himself by attacking Arknight Endfield first? That's because a lot of people are going to be quitting Wuthering Waves, and Arknight Endfield is something they can go into. Why they're quitting Wuthering Waves? Because they can't play Wuthering Waves currently because of the storage inflation. And it's going to get even worse when Amatit come out.
Imagine you're pulling on this banner for Surtur, and you want her weapon as well. But the thing is, brother, you hit it gold. You get lucky. You manage to get Surtur within like 30 pulls. And so your pities reset. You're back to 0 out of 120. You won the 50-50. You're a fucking top G, right? This shit happens in Genshin or Wuwa. You're fucking celebrating. You're on top of the world. But then you go over and you try to pull her weapon. And then you realize, wait, I don't have enough weapon pulls. My pity 0 out of 120. And the only way to get more weapon pulls is to like pull on a character that I already have. And so to get enough weapon pulls needed, maybe I got to go up to like 90 out of 120 on the banner.
Actually, that is a fair point. That is a fair point. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Well, that's unfortunate for that lucky bastard. It could be me too. Yeah, that's a good concern. That's a good concern. So this is why the weekly routine is gonna come in handy, Mr. Saintontas. Thank you very much.
Well, great. I now have went to 90 out of 120. I have a dupe I don't want for a character I don't need, but now I got enough weapon pulls to actually get the weapon. But now I'm at 190 out of 120 on the banner, and so I need to go spend 30 more pulls, or else my 90 pulls that I spent to get a 5-star is going to be wasted. Do you see how this 120 pity system that doesn't reset and having weapon pulls that are tied to the character pulls on pities that don't reset, or on pities that reset? Remember, all the pities reset here. Do you see how toxic that is? Do you see how predatory that is? And do you see how it completely fucks any player who gets lucky or wins early? This is like if Hoyoverse saw that you won that you got an early unit, they like extracted like 500 resin from your account. It's like if Hoyoverse detected that you got a character too early, they just started deleting weapons from your account. That's what this feels like. Because if you get a character too early in this game, you have to waste your resources to get the weapon because there's no other way to get the pulls. That was the previous situation, right? That's all in the past now. That's all in the past because these guys have decided to revamp the system, right? Listen to this.
Test 2. The official release also lets you convert aura geometries into arsenal tickets.
Because you can now convert the aura geometries into the arsenal tickets. Now let's wait. They're surely going to tell us what aura geometries are, right? Because I don't think anyone knows what that shit is.
Anybody with a brain know that the Oreo geometry is basically the premium currency that you'll get for purchasing. It's pretty obvious. I'm currently reading like what the pity system is. I'm trying to figure out what the pity system is because it's not easy to get this access to this information. So I'm currently looking at it. Every 10 pulls guarantees at least one 5-star operator. Soft pity is at 65 pulls. Hard pity 50-50 is at 80 pulls. 80 pulls 50-50. That's nice. And the featured guarantee is at 120 pulls. Right. That's what I'm reading. I'm doing Kali the Apper's tactic of like researching something on my phone because I don't have any internet, so I'm like using data right now because internet service provider sucks ass. Extra. This is bonus too. Extra copy of featured character repeats every 240 pulls for multiple copies. So this carries over. What doesn't carry over is the 100% guarantee feature limited 6-star. Guaranteed 6-star. So I was right. The pull count carries over. The pull count bonus dupe 240 pulls carry over. What doesn't carry over is the guarantee So your pulls do carry over. So I was right. Saintontas was spreading misinformation on that. All right. I'm looking at you won't see what I'm talking about. Unlike some gacha games, there is no guaranteed feature character after losing 50-50. Every 6-star character you pull before 120 is always a 50-50, right? You could put multiple 6 stars and another feature character. The only guarantee is 120 pull, which means that you're not gonna, if you can get like 50-50, you can get 2 characters, 6-star characters, but between you pulling from 0 to 90 pulls or 0 to 119 pulls, you can get up to 3 6-star characters, but they won't be guaranteed. Like, you only get the guaranteed once you hit that 120 pull mark. So I don't know how to feel about that, but I think that is it can be good and it can be bad, because this means that you know for a fact that you need 120 pulls for the guarantee, but you can also get multiple copies of it. But I don't know if you get the 5-star, 6-star that they want, does that mean that it automatically eats up the 120 pulls limited guarantee 6-star character? Like, there's a lot of things still need to be explained, and I don't think we're gonna be getting it after. Like, for what they say, the base rate 65 pulls is when it start boosting soft pity, and 80 pulls is hard pity, and which all carries over. The 120 guaranteed pull is the one that doesn't carry over. So this argument that saintontas made, that if you get like an early pull and you want the weapon banner, if you continue to pull on the character banner, you can actually get pulls to get the weapon banner without even having to trigger the guaranteed pull, and the pulls will be carried over. So what saintontas is saying here is just a lie, because he just refused to do proper research. So that's interesting for me to think about. The only thing that doesn't carry over is the 120 pull guarantee, but everything else carry over. Special feature, like how I'm reading this. Previous limited characters, when losing the 50-50, you might get one of the previous 2 limited characters. So it saintontas spreading false information again. You cannot get a character that is coming in the future. It's only characters of the past. So this is saintontas spreading misinformation again. This is why I can't trust saintontas when it comes down to giving information, because he just lies out his ass because he refused to read. So what it says is that you might get one of the previous 2 limited characters. So in all regards, this feature is absolutely insane, which means that pulling in the future characters, you can lose the 50-50 and get a 5-star, a 6-star. I won't get used to that anytime soon. A 6-star that is a limited character, and it won't affect your 50-50 guaranteed, your guaranteed pull for 120, which that's insane. Holy shit, that's a good thing. You get free 10 pull reward after 60 pulls. You get a free 10 pull for the next limited banner only. The one bad thing about that is that you must use it on the very next banner or it expires. So I think they should change that to, like, you can store it rather than you have to use it. But I think they want it for the next banner only, because they don't want people to stockpile it and then use like 120 of it, or enough of it to use 120 just guaranteed just from tickets alone. So I think that's why they're not doing it like that. But yes, I was right. saintontas was lying. I didn't trust it too much, and I don't know where saintontas was saying that the polls don't carry over, when I was certain that I heard that it carry over, and I was right. The only thing that doesn't carry over is the 120 guaranteed, but like, their polls will be counted for the next banner regardless.
Weapons. You can spend arsenal tickets to perform an arsenal issue.
They don't. They don't tell us what they are. You want to know why? They don't tell you what Oreo geometries are.
Because it's pretty obvious what it is. Like, if you play gacha games, you know what it is.
Because this is what an Oreo geometry is. We all know what Astrite is in Wuthering Waves, right? Astrite is the premium resource in this game that you get from doing basically anything, completing any content. 5, 10, 15.
It can't be Astrite. Isn't it, what? I don't know what it is for what it is anymore.
15, 20, maybe even 200, right? You can convert this into pulls, any type of pull. Then you got Lunite, and Lunite is the
yeah, this is it. This is what it is.
shit over here that you gotta buy. You gotta buy this from the store. And Lunite can be converted into Astrite, but Astrite cannot be converted into Lunite. This is a purely pay-to-win resource. You cannot get this unless you spend actual dollars on the game. That's it. That's all you can do. Oreo geometries is the Lunite equivalent in Endfield. The only way to get this is from...
If you didn't figure that out as a gacha player, that I'm
paying money or paying money. Do you see any free-to-play ways to get this? Oh, look, wait, you got your TP points. This is finite. There's a reason why it
oh my god
says to be continued. These are level up rewards that you get from like advancing your exploration in the game.
What? I've never seen this before. All right. This is not. You cannot get these premium currency by farming anything in Genshin Impact, Xenosaga Zero, and Honkai Star Rail. Saying this as a day one Honkai Star Rail player, day one Xenosaga Zero player, day one-ish Genshin Impact player, day one whatever is player, you can't get these by any means without spending money. The fact that you can get this shit by just playing the game is ridiculous. Why are we not saying that this is cool that you can get it by that?
That only goes up a certain amount, and it will only happen a couple times a patch, right? Probably like one.
Oh my god.
That's an update. So it's literally like time gated based off of this shit, whatever it is. That's what they're telling you you can convert to the weapon pulls. Possibly the most limited resource in the game. They're telling you this like it's helpful. They're telling you that you can convert them like it's something that people are going to actively do. The last thing that I'll say when it comes to this situation is a comparison between gacha games. In what?
Of course. Whatever is CC talking about comparison, because that's all they fucking talk about.
Wuthering Waves, when you win in early and you get a character in like 10 pulls, then you save the pulls necessary and...
That's bullshit. In Wuthering Waves, if you have, like, say, you set them on the pulls for character banner and set them on the pulls for weapon banner, if you get it early on the character banner, you're fucked for the weapon banner, because you cannot put any of the pulls you save up for character banner into weapon banner because there's no fucking way to convert it. Okay? Shut the fuck up.
Just get a free weapon. You're on top of the world, eh? In Endfield, when you win in early, you don't get to pull the weapon because you didn't pull enough to rebate for the arsenal tickets to pull on a weapon. Imagine a title in 2026, a gacha title, where getting in early can be...
Fam, they doom posted the hell out of Stella Sora, and it's still doing fine. So I don't think Arknight Endfield is going to do pretty good.
One of the worst things that happens to your account. That's kind of impressive. You want to know what the proper fix for this is?
Having the same PD system that Whatever have, like copying Whatever's banner system 1-to-1.
It's to simply make it so that Oro Barrel, the thing that you use to pull characters, can be used on weapons. That...
Why don't you say this for Wuthering Waves? Why don't you tell Wuthering Waves to make the same pulls that you use for the character banner be the same pulls that you use for the weapon banner? I would like to see that change in Wuthering Waves.
That would be the way to do it. But instead, they decide to go ahead and make it so that just what any rational developer would do when people have bad feedback about the system, they would just make it so that you can get these with Oro Barrel and don't tie them to that disgusting rebate system that I've already shown you has so much room to be absolutely cancerous.
And have shown you guys that Saintontas is just actively out there spreading misinformation because he's obfuscating the truth and he's just not talking about the things the way it actually is. Like, the polls carry over. What doesn't carry over is the guaranteed 50, the guaranteed at 120. That's the only thing that doesn't carry over. This is fake news from Saintontas himself.
I've shown you how bad it can get there. And the thing is, guys, their solution to that was letting you use this shit to buy weapon tickets. It's like these devs, they're a doctor, and they saw that somebody lost their finger. So instead of like trying to reattach it, bandage it, or do whatever, these devs they cut off the tip of a hot dog and then glued that shit onto the finger. And they're like, look, it's good as new, bro. It's good as new. That's what the retarded changes that we're seeing over here and the stupid ass changes that we're seeing on the banner, that's what they feel like. They're addressing a problem that wasn't there and they're solving it in the stupidest way possible. It's like, imagine you lost your finger.
Yeah, imagine you have a banner system that is different than what whatever is have. You cannot have such a thing. You cannot have something like that. No.
And the doctor's first priority is like trying to make it look like you still have one instead of treating the fact that you have a giant fucking.
I think this is fucking doom posting by these fucking idiots because I think the gacha system is pretty fine. Like, it's just that these content creators struggle with reading, so it's gonna be hard for them to know what the fuck is going on while they're playing the game. So this is like anti-tourist gacha system. So of course they don't like
injury
it.
In your hand. They're like, oh man, people are really gonna be concerned about the fact that your finger looks weird. Let's make sure you keep up appearances, buddy. No, I'm bleeding, bitch. That's what these fixes feel like. Absolutely tone deaf, clueless, and they literally make the game worse. I have never.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Arknight Endfield come in and Arknight Endfield absolutely clap whatever it is in terms of being over them constantly in the gacha revenue. And it will happen because the mobile situation right now in Wither Ways is absolutely dog shit. It will happen.
Never seen a game decide to, in the pursuit of day zero whales, kill, like literally it aborted its fucking content creation scene. I have never seen a developer just straight up decide, yeah, there's going to be no content creation space for this fucking game. But these guys decided to do it. These guys decided that, like, that's what they were going to do. And I'm going to be real with you. I've got very little. Oh, wait, what? You might need 200 plus pulls to guarantee your SIG? No way. In this Arsenal issue, if no rate-up 6-star weapons are acquired in 7 consecutive issues, then a rate-up 6-star weapon is guaranteed in the 8th. Oh, so you got to make sure you have 8 pities, too. Let's read this last paragraph over here. This might sum it up well. And I'm pretty sure, like, after you see all the other things, right? Remember, we got the full detail.
We went through that really fast, didn't we? When it turns out to be fucking lie.
Do not let your character pulls and Arsenal tickets go to waste. Always wait until you have enough for a guarantee. Always do single pulls. Check to make sure you have at least 120 limited pulls and 15 840 Arsenal tickets before interacting with the gacha. So this is the prerequisite to pull, right? Remember how you get the Arsenal tickets? It's from pulling. So you got to make sure that you have the Oro barrel that you need to convert into the pulls that you're going to need to convert into the Arsenal tickets, but also make sure that you spent enough on the banners before that to have enough Arsenal tickets. But then you got to make sure that you're estimating how many of those 120 pulls that you're actually going to spend, because it turns out you might actually only need like 12,000 Arsenal tickets because you might get like 3,000 on the journey to that 120. But then you also got to budget for the fact that you might win early. And so you might actually want to have more Arsenal tickets because when you win early, you're not going to spend as many on the limited banner. So actually have more than that.
This sums it up perfectly. This is exhausting. Why is it exhausting? Because these gacha players from Saintontas audience are dumb as fuck. So this is gonna look like a nightmare to them.
These guys have made it with their retarded, convoluted, giga complicated system. Instead of just doing, I don't know, this and having one currency for everything, like a normal gacha developer in 2026, instead of just
One currency for everything, yet Wooden Wheels have a separate currency for the weapon banner and a separate currency for the character banner. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
having a normal currency system, they got this. And haven't I just explained to you with how every single one of these pieces is fucking linked together by like a goddamn, like, not even like a thread. These things are linked together by like somebody just wiped their ass with that paper towel and like didn't take it off properly. It's like sticking out of their pants. That's how all this shit is linked together. That's what it's like, one giant piece of toilet paper. All this.
The funny thing about this is these dumb, stupid, retarded content creators like Saintontas don't get it to their head that this fucking changes nothing. Like this change, all this fucking doom posting is not gonna change anything. What is gonna matter is what people experiences when playing the game, and if their playing experience is really good, then it's done for Wooden Ways. This is one of the nails in the coffin for Wooden Ways. Pretty much gonna be going down completely because next year we have NTE, Anata, maybe a Zero Familia. I feel that Wooden Ways' time is numbered.
Shit is just wrapped up in it. Fucking garbage. Legitimately garbage. And I cannot believe that this is the launch iteration of the fucking game, because this is genuinely the worst gacha system I think I've ever seen in my fucking life. It takes the cake as the literal worst gacha system I've ever seen. I have never seen one worse. And hopefully, after the crazy in-depth breakdown we've done today, you see exactly why I have that take.
You see exactly what I was taking? It was literally trying to convince people not to play it because of the bad things that are currently in the game and on the gacha system. I don't understand it, and that you have to I don't know, man. I don't think it's gonna end the service this game. I think this game is gonna do pretty good. Like if they have their music is close to Genshin level, which what I've heard. I've heard some of them and it's pretty close. I give them absolute credit for that. The story, I don't know how their story is compared to Genshin. I don't think anybody is gonna come anywhere close to Genshin Impact storytelling currently. Like it has completely they have completely put themselves on a pedestal on their own. I equate this to how the fight was like between All Might and Endeavor, where you have Endeavor as Wooden Waves just to make them feel a little better, and you have All Might as Genshin Impact. And it did us continue to break some barriers that are impossible for Wooden Waves to come anywhere close in terms of storytelling. I get that they have animations on their side, but Genshin Impact already figured out that it doesn't make sense to power creep the fuck out of the animations and destroy the player base by basically not factoring that not everybody has the high-end gaming devices, and they want to make sure that the people that started the game initially could somewhat still play it to this day. And that's the thing that Wooden Waves have not realized, and many people are quitting the game because Wooden Waves have not realized that, and they're just trying to be a shiny apple to use to attack Hoyo as a company itself. And in the long run, it will never work because like Wooden Waves is always going to be seen as a copy of Genshin Impact, and that's why they can never surpass Genshin Impact, because a copy can never surpass the original. Well, they just don't get that. Instead of making Wooden Waves a game on its own, it has turned into an absolute mess where we don't even know where we're going in the story, to be honest. But it is what it is, saintontas. I'm done with this video. This is one video that I'm gonna watch with the Arknight Endfield Doom posting. I already believe it was coming. The other thing that I'm thinking that they're gonna be Doom posting is the grinding mechanics. I know they're gonna be hitting on that because these content creators are lazy as fuck. But it is what it is. I think this is a gacha system or a gaming system that doesn't benefit tourists. So it hopefully will keep out the fucking grifters like saintontas, Glaive Cave, and others out of the fucking game, which I'm absolutely happy for. I will be giving Arknight Enfield a try. I don't like that there's so much good gacha games coming out that I really want to try them all, but I just need to balance my time properly in order to try them. But it has been, I think they're gonna do well. I really like that pink girl in the early part of the video. Where is she? Because I know this one, the one that's coming up after. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's hard. There is it. That pink girl right there. This one. She looks beautiful. I will be getting that character, I believe. So when I launch this game, probably around February 17, I won't be pulling for her. I'll be pulling for her. So I'm just gonna be farming pulls to get 120 pulls, and then I'm gonna be spending for her. And then I'm gonna use the rebate to get her weapon as well. So it's confusing, as somebody says, confusing AF, because they don't want to read. And saintontas was like pushing the narrative that the polls don't carry over when it does. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I understand. We don't know how much we're gonna be getting from like the weeklies. Probably get a lot, hopefully. So all this thing is a theory, but I think it should be fine. I've heard off the stream that they increase drop rates on premium currency and everything like that. So I do think it should be manageable. But we have to wait until this game go live and we can test it out in the field, as my good friend Tuhu said, the gacha god, that we can't just be making the verdict by just looking at it and not even playing the game and experiences for ourselves, and then we can think about how it is. And I think it's gonna do fine. My prediction, I feel like it's gonna do fine. Anyways, saintontas, as always, go fuck yourself, you retarded piece of content creator, piece of shit. And yeah, I saw this coming. I really saw this coming, that people like you, retarded content creators like you, are gonna start to doom post Arknight Enfields because you guys see it as a threat. You realize that Genshin Impact content creators are not doing that because they don't see Arknights as a threat, and they notice that their audience are not gonna be leaving. Wooden Rays doesn't have anything that can hold their content creators together, like are their audience together. They're actively losing players because they don't want to take the time to say, okay, let's do a dead patch and let's work on the fucking optimization. No, they continue pushing the barriers. They don't have no time to actually fix the game, and the game is getting more unoptimized and dog shit as it continues, and these content creators refuse to fucking cover it, so it does never come to the limelight, and it just continue on this pathway downwards. I will not be surprised if this month's gacha revenue for Wooden Rays is gonna be their worst yet. And then the next month, maybe probably not even past 3.0 sales.